Do my best singing for you and singing about the one that He's been my all in all. He has been there for me when no one seemed to be. I could always go to Him in prayer, and I always knew there was something that would happen that would cause me to know that He heard my prayer. And I've lived that kind of a life since I can remember at 5 years old. And I do remember back that far.
Well, it wouldn't take nothing for my journey now. I gotta make it to heaven somehow. Though the devil tempts me and tries to turn me around, He's offered everything that's got a name, all the wealth I want, the worldly fame. If I could still, I wouldn't take nothing for my journey now. There's nothing in the world ever take the place of God's love. Silver and gold could never buy His love from above. When my soul needs healing, I begin to feel in His power. I can say thank the Lord, I wouldn't take nothing for my journey now. I wouldn't take nothing for my journey now. I gotta make it to heaven somehow. Though the devil tempts me and tries to turn me around, He's offered everything that's got a name, all the wealth I want, the worldly fame. If I could still, I wouldn't take nothing for my journey now.
I've had an enjoyable life. I've enjoyed, I think, every moment of my life.
Somewhere beyond the grave, there is a land where Jesus went to prepare by His own hand. And for the saved by grace, there is a resting place. Days it will be mine. Some call it heaven, I call it home. Some call it dreaming, let me dream on. Some call it somewhere beyond the skies. Some call it heaven, I call it home. Someone said you can't go back home again, and things will not ever be as good as they've been. I've got good news for you. When heaven comes into view, one glimpse and you'll know the best is yet to come. Some call it heaven, I call it home.
But I'm glad to be here today, and be able to do these songs for you. I may never get to do them again. Oh, you will.
One night upon the sea, a ship was tossing to and fro. Breakers dashed on every hand. as the mighty billows roll. Then they call upon the one who the winds and waves control. When he reaches out his hand, see will mostly at his command. Winds and waves obey his will. When he says to them, be still. What land is this? They all did say, that the winds and waves obey. He's the one who sails with me. He's the master of the sea.
Singing is the joy of my life. I've sang since I was about 5 years old.
Don't look at me.
I mean, I sang in church.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there?
No, I wasn't there. Not yet.
But I sang in church. I'd sing specials once in a while. My daddy didn't want me to sing. He was a pastor, of course. I got to do a little bit more.
Hey, Mom, who taught you how to play the piano?
Who taught me how to do the piano? My mother.
Did she ever play the piano?
No, she couldn't play the piano. But she knew the ABCs on the piano. And so she got a book for me and she said, you will play.
Wow.
And so I would start playing and she said, Wanderly, back up and do that over. Why? Because you didn't do it right. Well, she could hear it. She couldn't play it, but she could hear it. And so many is a time I sat at the piano an hour and a half trying to get a half hour of music in. But I had to play a half hour every day except Sunday.
Oh, wow. Then you played at church. So.
And I played at church then. So.
Too many miles behind me, too many trials are through, too many tears help me to remember there's too much to gain to lose. Too many sunsets lie behind the mountain, too many rivers my feet have walked through, too many treasures are waiting over yonder. There's too much to gain to lose. I've crossed the hot burning desert, struggling the right road to choose. Somewhere up ahead there's cool, clear water, and defeat is one word I don't use. Too many sunsets lie behind the mountain, too many rivers my feet have walked through, too many treasures are waiting over yonder. There's too much to gain to lose. Too many treasures are waiting over yonder. There's too much to gain to lose.
But I have had a very, very good life. I've loved the Lord since I knew there was a God. And that was in my beginning.
I started out traveling for the Lord many years ago. Had had a lot of heartache, met a lot of grief and woe. When I would stumble, I would humble down, and there I would say I wouldn't take nothing for my journey now. I wouldn't take nothing for my journey now. Thought I'd make it to heaven somehow, though the devil tempts me and tries to turn me around. He's offered everything that's got a name, all the wealth I want, the worldly thing. If I could still, I wouldn't take nothing for my journey